Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Farron.
Hello, Margaret. Long time no see.
It has been a minute since we've done a coffee talk. I believe the last one we did was with our special guest, Lance,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a while ago. So, where have we been? Well, we've been doing our same old thing. We just, we want to do coffee talk when we have something to talk about. And don't ask me for my drink because I've had already way too much caffeine and I couldn't get it together. So I have nothing to drink right now.
I
Uh,
almost have a picture of the sink downstairs because it's filled with coffee mugs and Nespresso cups right now. I think everybody's feeling the need for a little extra.
yeah. So coffee talk with Farron and Margaret. We are just honored to be here with you. We have together as a team have really just developed a rapport with so many business owners, women business owners, professionals, people who want to get into creative markets. And we just want to thank you so much for trusting us and for just being so much fun. We've been in a virtual world now for over, 15 months. And I feel connected to people. I feel connected to Farron. And yeah, so Farron.
Yes.
You want to greet everyone?
Everyone, I'm Farron, dialing in from Socialize LA Bethesda. So there's a little bit of distance in between Margaret and I now, but as she said, we've been connected. And, yes, the past year has been all digital, but actually, Margaret's built Socialize LA on the concept of being able to serve clients nationwide from anywhere. So I feel like we had a little bit of an advantage just kind of going into the situation because we're so used to working remotely as a team.
Yeah.
And we were really excited going into this year. It just kind of seemed like 2021, okay, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Things are going to go back to normal a little bit, even though we all know there's no such thing as normal anymore because everything is different.
Everything.
But today in Coffee Talk, we wanted to just kind of talk about the fact that we have been going, and it's been super exciting. But we also are feeling like we need a little bit of a break in terms of our focus and how do we recharge? How do we recharge the batteries after a 4 or 5 month sprint, as it has felt like, in terms of growth for ourselves and for our clients and in our personal lives. So we've been taking some time this month as a team to talk about recharging and what that means to us. And I think we can chat a little bit about that today.
Yes, I love it. And sometimes, okay, so as business owners, as professionals, and as overachievers, whatever category or multiple that you fall into, you're not feeling successful unless you're moving. And Farron and I know this by we see you because that is us. And you cannot get us to sit still. And so strategically we do though, and that's what we're going to talk about. But it's okay to pause. It is okay to recharge because recharge, it does make you have to pause. Like right now, my laptop was at 20% and I wanted to have this talk out on my balcony, but I needed to get a longer cord, blah, blah, blah. Because to recharge this laptop, I have to pause. I have to stop. I can't be mobile. I can't be on the go. So it's just such a great reminder that it's okay to pause. So this month at Socialize LA, we had a bit of we had a recharge and we've had like a standstill in a couple of initiatives that we were going forward with.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of last year, we planned out all of 2021. Like we're really good at that. Planning out all of the content, ideas, themes, initiatives, promos. Every month there was something. And this month, Farron and I were just thinking, maybe we suit ourselves and we just say we're going to recharge and we're just going to have fun with our content. There's no push for anything. I mean, we always are open for business. And it's important that people know that you're open for business, but there was no challenge. There was no promo. It was just us being us. and fulfilling like we have a handful of new clients that needed our attention, and websites that need to be finished, and events that we were doing. We were partnering with meetingnerd.com to do virtual events. So it's been a lot. And then we've had 2 new hires. So we have a new hire here in Southern California, and then we hired someone who lives in Chicago. So needless to say, the recharge has been important, and we've taken time to train. We've taken time to think. We've taken time to breathe. Yeah. And it's been great.
And ironically, we actually had recharging as our focus for the month of May. And what we just needed to do was to take our own advice.
Yeah, exactly. I text Farron and said, I think it was a text message. I don't remember what I said that prompted it, but you said, maybe we need to just take our own advice and recharge.
And then I started thinking about all the ways that we could, how do we define recharging and how do we apply it to our business and our personal lives? Mm-hmm. Your point about the new hires, if we want to set these new hires up for success at Socialize LA, then we need to take the time to really train them, to show them how we work. Yeah. Same with new clients. We want to make sure that we're onboarding everyone in a really thoughtful and intentional way. Yeah. And we've been able to do that by not spreading ourselves too thin.
Right. I mean, we just evolved our onboarding process for new hires and new clients. And that has been a dream. And because of that recharge now, we're setting ourselves up for the future success rather than always just running. And I don't want to run.
Where they always say, like, you have to take care of yourself or you can't show up for your family or your friends. And you're always like,
put on your mask first before you can put someone else's mask on.
Exactly.
We get it.
Save yourself.
Yeah.
In this case,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So another thing you wanted us to touch on, Farron, was recharging, like that continual recharging. Maybe it's not a whole month's worth, but a couple of things that people can do is, the workplace. So hashtag work, PLAYCE. That's just been a culture thing here at Socialize LA. I recommend that the team gets out and work. They work today. Hannah and I were going to go to the office, but instead we have to run an errand to the west side of LA. And so we'll be docked at some diner or a cafe somewhere, working, eating, but it'll be nice and it'll be a change of pace, and everything will still get done because we value that. We value the flexibility, and there's just something about putting yourself into an environment that's a little bit different.
And I think that I would encourage listeners, and we should put the link to your podcast about this, The Workplace, because Margaret has some awesome advice about how to strategically go about selecting your workplace and preparing for it so that you are prepared and you're productive and you're not distracted by all the shiny objects that you might see when you get to your workplace.
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to be pretty self-disciplined to do this, to live like this, or to do this even once in a while.
Think about it. Kind of think of a list of places that would be fun to work and then just actually schedule it in and do it. But again, listen to the podcast because Margaret has some great advice about making sure that you have your supplies and you have your extra chargers and you have your list of things to do so that you can feel accomplished, but also take advantage of the setting where you are.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I will put that into the chat.
The note.
Oh, yes. The other thing we wanted to talk about was workcation versus vacation. And Farron, you asked me to do that, but I think you had a really good definition.
Well, it's interesting because I saw on LinkedIn, there's been some posts about, the pandemic's coming to an end. While you can still work from anywhere, now's the time to go and take that work vacation. But in all of the articles that I'm seeing, they're defining that as going somewhere amazing and working from there. And what I think is really cool about Margaret, and I've never heard anybody else talk about this but the way you do a workation is you choose a location and you go there with the specific intention of working. The goal is to work from like an inspiring place.
Mhm.
And you use your vacation as a time to unplug and step away from work and make sure that work is delegated and that everybody knows what to do. So
Yep.
I really appreciate that it's two separate things versus people are talking about go to an exotic location but still work. It's kind of like you're not really getting the best of either world if you're doing that, because you're still going to be dialed into work, but yet you're going to feel like you should be taking advantage of this amazing place that you came.
Right. I mean, and if you are okay with that being your workcation, that's awesome, but your body and your mind still needs a vacation. It needs to unplug from everything work related. And why shouldn't you get to do that? If you're working for someone as an employee, then you absolutely have earned vacation. And if you're self-employed, you need vacation. You need to give that to you. And I remember, again, this is my 12th year in business, going on 13 in December. Wow. And we're going to be a teenager. So things, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
We have to do that.
That's it. Okay. Thank you. December. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. So now I lost my train of thought because of that great idea. But I was saying you have to, and that's something that I learned very early on, is that if you're not going to give yourself a vacation, you're not going to plan for it, it will never happen. And burnout, I'm telling you, does not generally bring out the best in us.
No, and everybody thinks just because you can be connected all the time that you should be. And then the expectation is perpetuated when people are responding late at night or over the weekend. And it might not, you might not mind. A lot of people, get pleasure out of that and like are very invested and excited about their work, but there still comes a point where to step away, to go out into nature, to recharge.
Yeah.
It's helpful to have some separation.
Absolutely.
Experience.
Yes. And I love my job. Just yesterday at about 6:30, I was still at the office, or it was like 7. And I texted my husband out of nowhere and I just said, I love my job. Like, why would I even say that? But it's because I do. I love it. I love what we do. I love what we make happen for people. But like anybody else, I have to unplug. I have to get away. And I don't know if you all know this, but I bought a pager this year so I can unplug, but still be available to my mom and my parents and my grandparents for emergencies.
Amazing. The pager people were like, we got a sale?
Yeah. They're like, that website's still up?
Send it to production. One pager.
Here, I got one for Brian too.
Of course you did.
So, this is, and it's also Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, Farron and I are not doctors, but we know that for our own mental health, we have to have boundaries. We have to set expectations, reasonable and realistic expectations. And if you're a type, not everyone has to be like this super motivated, I need to go run a marathon tomorrow type of a person. If that's not who you are, then awesome. But if that's who you are, like whoever you are, like set yourself up for your own success. And whether that is, walking 30 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day or, whatever that is like, just start making that path for yourself. Because for our own mental health, I believe that having some successes, whether they're small or giant or whatever, is so important to our growth.
I agree. Checking small things off the list can feel so good. And even just you're in the zone and you're working and you're being productive, but taking the time, even though you might not feel like it, I don't even want to stand up and walk outside right now. Every time I force myself to do that, I always feel better when I come back.
Always. And so if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I lost my Apple Watch. I have no idea where it is. And this is day 3. And it's unreal how much I lean on it. So don't worry. That's the errand I have to run. I have to go to the West Side to go pick up the one that I wanted because it's sold out everywhere. But these are little things that I'm like, I cannot, it's part of my mental health to be connected.
To it too. I love mine now. When I first got it, I almost had like buyer's remorse at first. Did I really need this?
Right.
Now I've just really learned the functionality that is so convenient to have on your wrist, especially if you are trying to like step away from the phone a little bit.
Yeah.
At least you can get the basics.
Right.
And
or if you're trying to get that, you know, because they have the breathe function. And I used to be like, the breathe function, turn that off. That's lame. I already breathe. I didn't understand that I needed a minute. Like, replace the word breathe with pause. I wish they would do that, actually.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because that to me just means like, okay, yeah, you're right. I need to pause for just a second.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we are not affiliates for Apple, but Farron and I are dripping in it.
Just has a way of permeating.
It really does. So, but we want to thank you again. And we hope that something that you can walk away just encouraged and motivated. So as you know, we work here at socializela.com. Socialize LA, we are a modern marketing agency, and we support small businesses in all areas of marketing and sales, from doing your social media for you, teaching you, managing your virtual events, and so on and so forth. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. We're really easy to get in touch with. Your first line of contact would probably be Hannah, and she's our community coordinator, and she's amazing. But we want to also just put on your radar, if you're someone who is just needing some guidance and you don't want to buy another on-demand, you know, this is how you do social media program, because Farron and I know that accountability is where it's at, and that's what we have inside of our Flex Your Influence membership. So I will put a link in the notes, and you can find, you can sign up for the Get Notified email, and we are going to do open enrollment in the next couple of weeks. So we invite you to join us. That's what I'm going to type. And here you go.
Yeah, so much fun. This member community is just growing and thriving, and they're teaching each other, and they're teaching us, and we're teaching them, and they're connecting, and it's just been...
They're collaborating and doing business together. It's crazy how much... It's crazy to see the growth. I won't mention any names, but one of our members, this will be the last story. I know we need to get going, but one of our members came to one of our virtual events, and he said, you know, sometimes when I'm in the group, or they said, when I was in the group, I don't feel like I can talk because I haven't achieved what everyone else in the community has achieved. And I just thought, wow, if he would have joined a year ago, the people that he's talking about were right where he was.
So true.
And I said, you know, they were, hi, Julie Gordon-White. I said, they were where you were a year ago, but they just kept going and kept going. And now they are just, I mean, they're rock stars. One of them is like, she's like, I need to hire 2 people. It's like, it's awesome. Amazing. Yeah, because we're supporting your marketing and your sales, because we talk about promotion and how to do sales. But we also support each other just in business in general. So awesome.
It's holistic. We even tell you to take a break when it's time to recharge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am the type of person that's like, we need to go at our own pace. Even though I am like I'm crazy when it comes to like getting things done. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm extremely easy on myself. It's weird.
Setting realistic, attainable goals.
Yeah.
Feel more accomplished that way.
Yes, exactly. So thank you everyone for being here with us at our May Coffee Talk. Farron, you're amazing. And thank you for being here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Take care.
All right. Bye everyone.
Bye.